This is INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Made in Australia.
G'day, mates. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be tuning in from. We hope you are having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of INCRadio Made in Australia. In today's episode, we will be sharing the benefits of spending time outside for our mental health, how combining mental health focused with summer-specific active lifestyles offers profound benefits that leverage longer daylight hours and warmer weather to boost emotional and physical well-being. A few hosts will be connecting from different favorite summer places around Australia, whilst we also have a mental health educator to share with us some tips. Joining me today is the very handsome and very talented Brother John Villanueva. Brother John, as we soak up the Aussie sun, it's wild to think that exactly halfway around the world is in a deep freeze. While we're hitting the beaches, it's jackets and snowmen in New York and London. It's crazy to think we're so hot here in Australia, but around the other side of the world, it's in complete winter.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because you just got to watch the news outlet and you see the backgrounds that they have. It's all cold. They're wearing their jackets. We're here. We're sweltering. In fact, today here in the outer western suburb of Sydney, we're hitting about 40 degrees at the moment. We believe I got in my car earlier. It was like 47 degrees showing in the temperature over there. But at the moment, it's showing 40 degrees. But I think towards the CBD area, you're looking at about 30 degrees, so 30.9 degrees. Okay, by the way, just a quick intro again. Thank you very much for your kind words, Brother Morgan. I'm Brother John Villanueva here from the local congregation of Dean Park District of New South Wales. Today's weather, my goodness, like I was mentioning earlier, this is towards the CBD. That's probably why it's a little bit lower in this temperature because it's closer to the shore. It's 30.9 in Sydney. Melbourne, you're looking at about 21.2 degrees. Brisbane, we're pretty much near where you are there. Not really near where you are, Brother Morgan, but 30.4. Perth, where Brother Hans will be joining us from, is 25.4. Beautiful weather, actually. Adelaide, 36. Hobart, which is Tasmania, 16.4 degrees. That seems to be an aberration to the norm here in Australia. And, of course, Canberra, goodness, 36.8 degrees. And, of course, usually one of the hottest parts of Australia is Darwin, but today they're hitting 31.3 degrees. So that's kind of like very interesting how each part of Australia is almost like another nation, another country. In fact, to show us a little bit about Australia, because this is part of the Discovering Down Under, we have our very own handsome, possibly more handsome than you and I, Brother Morgan, is Brother Hans. He's in WA, Western Australia, the other side of Australia. Brother Hans, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you very much for Brother John and Brother Morgan. Both of you are very kind, yes, but and I give it more credit to you too for being more handsome than I am and more experienced. So, nonetheless, thank you very much for having me today. And to everyone listening and watching to INCRadio's Made in Australia, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your Brother Hans Actividad from the local congregation of Stirling here in the Ecclesiastical District of Western Australia.
Thank you very much, sir, Brother Hans. You've got a very interesting background over there. Is that like one of the tourist area of Western Australia, New Stirling? Where are you at? What's that place? Tell us a little bit more about your location.
All right, Brother John, so while we wait for Brother Hans to reconnect with us, we're going to give a few of our live chat a shout out as they are constantly tuning in very early, our early birds and our loyal supporters. So we'd love to give a quick shout out to our sister Emmy, who is actually sharing her birthday with us today. We also have a special shout out to our district Christian Family Organization Overseer for Queensland, Brother Mark Caseo, who is constantly tuning in, sharing and supporting our links for INCRadio. A special greeting to Sister Letitia Caseo as well, who is Brother Mark's daughter, very active members of the Church of Christ. We thank you so much for all of your support, but please kindly continue to send through all of your comments. We'll be sure to read them out as we continue on with today's discussion. A quick shout out to Brother Emmanuel Rebeleza from the local congregation of Wyndham. We have Car Renelin Limbago, who says, happy watching Paul from Melbourne. We have Car Diane Crystal May Nelmida from Thailand, all the way around in Thailand, Brother John. So many people tuning in, so many brethren tuning in from across the world. We hope you guys are enjoying today's show, and we hope you guys are excited for today's very educational, very important show ahead. Again, in regards to the benefits of being outdoors and contributing to mental health. We have a special shout out to Ka Haziel Reblaza, who says greetings from Wyndham. Ka Karen Marquina, who says greetings, Paul. Ka Roma Scott, very, very loyal supporter, constantly tuning in. Ka Roma, good to see you again in our live chat. Paul, happy viewing, Paul, who says we love INC Radio from Shepparton. A very active local congregation, the local congregation of Shepparton. Paul. We have Ka Chito Lorenzo, who says, happy viewing to everyone. Greetings from Toowoomba. Happy viewing, Ka Chito. We have Ka Dennis Velasco. Happy viewing to everyone from Minchinbury, the local congregation of Minchinbury. We also have Ka Aileen Estrella. Happy viewing, Paul, from Shepparton. Ka Phil Julian, who says, happy watching, Paul, from Melbourne. We also have so many of you guys tuning in today. It's amazing to see your support. Amazing to see all of you here with us again and again each and every week. We have Carl William Manabat, very, very constant and loyal supporter, who says, happy viewing to all brethren from Shepparton. Carl Francis Estrella, who says, we love INC Radio from Shepparton. We have Brother Marvin Fidelino. Happy viewing, Paul, from Shepparton. We have Car Evelyn Vivas, who says, happy viewing to all. We love INC Radio. Paul, Car Evelyn, we appreciate all of your support from the local congregation of Wyndham. And we have a special greeting from Brother June Vivas, part of the Vivas family, who are tuning in today, who says, happy viewing to everyone. And once again, welcome to today's episode of INC Radio Made in Australia, who is sending warm greetings to the household of our resident minister, Brother Daryl Elia of Wyndham. Thank you so much for all of your support, Car Daryl, and to the Vivas family. Brethren, and to our viewers, to our fellow men, continue to send through all of your support. We'll be sure to shout you out in the upcoming parts of our segment. Today's episode, once again, is very, very important, very educational. We have a mental health educator joining us today, who is going to give us some important instructions and education in regards to the benefits of being outside and how it contributes to our mental health and well-being. So summer is not just a season, it's an explosion of light, a symphony of warm breezes, and a golden invitation to live, laugh, and dive headfirst into unforgettable adventures. A very exciting episode ahead of us, so stay tuned, because you are watching Made in Australia, brought to you by INC Radio Australia Satellite Studio, one of the official satellite studios of INC Radio.
Made in Australia.
Really love watching Made in Australia because it not only helps me discover new things, but it serves as our family bonding time.
Well, Made in Australia is just so versatile. It has everything. It showcases all the different congregations and GWSs of Australia, all of their talents, their hard work, life advices, everything like that. Getting to know all the brethren all across the country is just so beautiful to see. They also give so many advices like renting, investing, businesses. I remember one episode about your essentials in a long drive, and that's definitely needed in Australia. It also showcases Australia as well. All the different cities, all the beautiful scenics. It's just so beautiful to watch. And it's just, you can learn so many things from these episodes.
Made in Australia.
All right, and welcome back to INC Radio Made in Australia, brought to you by INC Radio Australia Satellite Studio. Today we are talking summer, prioritizing joy, setting boundaries, and nurturing mental well-being with the same warmth and energy as the sun. Be sure to share your thoughts. If you haven't already, don't forget to click the like, share, subscribe buttons, a little notification bell to stay up to date with all of INC Radio Made in Australia's updates. Let us know also in the live chat section, what is your favorite summer activity? So, Brother John, today, very, very educational episode once again.
That's gonna be yeah. You know what? There's plenty of. By the way, Brother Morgan, I'm curious. I mean, my favorite summer activity is actually just going out, have coffee, and if I can, try to sit outside because I just like having being in the sun. I mean, if you ever meet my daughter, she'll tell you I prefer to always sit down, al fresco style. What is your favorite activity for summer for yourself?
You know, brother, as long as it's in the shade and it's not directly in the sun, I don't mind a bit of gardening, pulling out some weeds, planting some fresh plants and whatnot.
Oh,
A whole
wow.
bunch of lot of summer activities, actually, bro, especially indoor volleyball. I love indoor
Yeah.
volleyball, especially a big shout out to the District of Queensland or North Queensland
Uh,
today, who are contributing or taking part in their district unity game. So a big shout out to all of the local congregations today joining up in Mackay. We hope you guys staying sun safe whilst enjoying your activity today. But yes, Brother John, I don't mind a
it's
bit of
really gonna
gardening.
Oh, you're gonna live forever. People apparently when you're always on the outdoors, you're touching, things that have what they call negative ions. I don't know how that works, but apparently it works. Okay, you're touching live things, you're grounded. You tend to live a little bit longer, tend to be more healthy. That's why you look so fit there, Brother Morgan. But you know what? Before we go ahead, I'd like to introduce to everyone out there this beautiful young lady who is a mental health professional that you probably be familiar with her already. But before we introduce her to her, I'd just like to say a quick shout out to my sister Adora Maganto and also the Villanueva clan there in the Philippines. So hopefully I'll be heading back to Philippines sometime next year. And please, I invite them all to come with me to some of the worship services and some of the church activities so that you'll see what I mean, why I am so involved. But for now, we would like to say hello to our very beautiful sister Fabi Ismail. Sister Fabi, please introduce yourself and how are you today?
Hi, Brother John and Brother Morgan, to all our viewers and listeners here in INC Radio. I'm glad to have be back here again in INC Radio Australia. My name is Sister Fabi Ismail from local congregation of North Sydney, a mental health consultant for child and youth mental health service here in New South Wales, and also a previous mental health educator in one of the university here in Australia. So I'm so happy to be able to join you again today, Brother John and Brother Morgan.
Amazing, Sister Fabi. And yes, Brother John, to our audience, we have Sister Fabi is a professional mental health educator with a lot of experience. So, Sister Fabi, before we jump into today's discussion, can you kind of give us a bit of an understanding of how initially you got into mental health education?
So I started my journey in become passionate in mental health since I was in my second year studying at university when I was doing my work experience in one of the community mental health service here in Australia. And I kind of relate into the challenges of not only the young people, but also the parents. And it's quite close to home for me. And I thought it's one of the areas that I really want to understand more and study more and get more experience. So up until this day, I'm still quite passionate in helping not just young people, but even those people around me to improve their mental health well-being.
Yeah, amazing, Sister Fabi. Brother John, it's going to be an exciting episode. We can't wait to extract all of Sister Fabi's experience.
Oh man, the thing that she does is that people have hidden illnesses, hidden issues, and some of the things that people are more hesitant to talk about is their mental health or how they're feeling emotionally as well. So that I think it's important that you do have these professionals to be able to guide you, to guide you how to get through it, so you can always have a better life as well. But Sister Fabi, I've heard that in the past. Obviously, we're here summer in Australia, but the most parts of the world, it's dark, it's cold, they're mostly indoor. Do you think that has I heard that there's a lot of effect in terms of your mental health depending on the season. Have you found that the summertime, or generally the more lights that we have, that your workload tends to be a little bit lighter during the summer because all you're pretty much doing will probably be just guiding and advising people, as opposed to say on the winter months where there's not much sunlight and people don't go out as much, that they probably have a lot more issues they want to talk about? How does that affect your workplace?
I noticed that definitely during winter time, there's a lot of presentation with depression or worsening, because spending time outdoors during, especially during Australian summer, can actually offer significant mental health benefits due to a combination of, increase the daylight, exposure to the nature, have that opportunity to do some physical movements, and also connect with, with people outdoor. So that longer daylight hours, there's a lot of research that it will help us regulate our body circadian rhythm. It's also supporting our healthier sleep-wake cycles, which are closely linked to mood regulation. So yeah, working in a crisis environment, especially in emergency, I noticed that there's tend to be an increased presentation of mental health crisis during winter compared to the summertime.
Right. And so, Sister Fabi, for our audience, we want to get a bit of an understanding. While spending time outside specifically, how is it that much more beneficial compared to other times of the year or other seasons of the year, Pop?
So, I guess with exposure to the natural environment, like sunlight, like such as going to the beach or park, has been shown to reduce our stress. It's also, there's a lot of research that is reduce our anxiety and rumination by activating what we called our parasympathetic nervous system, or what we call our calming nervous system. So in Australia specifically, summer, it encourages also that social connections and outdoor lifestyle, which are what protective factors for our mental health. So there's a lot of research consistently shows that nature exposure, it combines with gentle movements, it improves our mood, it also improves our cognitive functioning and overall psychological well-being than being indoor during winter.
And I believe that being an active member of the Church of Christ, Sister Fabi, you encourage people to do more to take care of themselves. And the beauty is where you live, you have a lot of things that you can do where you spend time in the sun. And I believe you got some programs that you run with the church, so that there's activities there for our fellow brothers and sisters to build a bond. So can you just name some of the programs that you have initiated to help those to spend more time outside and build connections with each other?
Yeah, so we live in our local conditions here in North Sydney. Yes, Brother John, we have a lot of beautiful beaches and nature's walk. So last year, I initiated one of the things I treasure most is spending time outdoors with my church family or church member here in North Sydney, doing some coastal walk with our other brethren. So there is something deeply healing about walking outside side by side with our brethren. So not just going for a walk together. During that time, we also get to share your life together, having that a bit of a space that people feel safe. So I guess as a mental health clinician, I understand the science behind why being outdoor lifts our mood and calms our nervous system. I also know that there is something spiritual that happens when we are gathered together as a brethren inside the church. The nature slows us down. When we walk together, conversations flows more easily when you walk in the nature. The burdens feels lighter when we share that with someone. Laughter comes more naturally when you spend outdoor with our brethren, and no one feels alone. So it's not just about exercise. That's why I initiated the coastal walk with our brethren here in North Sydney. It's about connections. Our coastal walks do exactly that. They create that space where people feel seen, relationship grows, you build that relationship with other members in your locale, and also that straighten each other's faith. So every time we walk together, I'm reminded that well-being isn't only about caring for our mind and our body. It's also about nurturing each other's spirits in a community, in a nature.
Yeah, amazing, Sister Fabi. So it's an absolute blessing to have you and your experience as well as your profession as part of your local congregation and your activeness inside the Church of Christ as an officer. And, being able to go outdoors and enjoy nature walks with the brethren and walking around greatly contributes to, the strengthening of both personal faith and brotherly bonds by combining physical exertion with spiritual reflection and shared experiences. It acts as a reset button for the mind, body, and spirit, fostering deeper connections and with both God and others in a natural setting. So again, amazing to have that opportunity there in your local congregation, Sister Fabi, and for you to be able to share that with us. We appreciate it. And it has actually inspired me to maybe even put in a request for our local congregation here in the local congregation of Townsville in our district of Queensland for a potential nature walk exercise, because it sounds very beneficial. And it just feels like a very just a reset, essentially, just to be able to go out and enjoy that time with our beloved brethren. For any fellow men, for any of the audience who might not be members of the Church of Christ, whoever might have invited you to today's discussion or sent you today's link, and you feel like you want to be a part of our activities inside the Church of Christ, don't ever hesitate to approach those who have invited you today, because they're always very welcoming and always looking forward to having our fellow men joining us to enjoy those exercises with us. So again, Sister Fabi, thank you very much. For summer in particular, Sister, what are some simple and safe ways people can spend time outdoors? Obviously, it's very hot, and we have to keep in mind not to become too overwhelmed by the heat, Sister. So how can we kind of enjoy the outdoors despite the extreme heat that we're experiencing, especially in Australia here at the moment?
So spending time outdoors doesn't need to involve prolonged sun exposure or intense activity. So simple and safe option can be just going out early in the morning, or even just late in the afternoon when the temperature are cooler. Even just sitting in the shade area, such as under the trees or in a kind of park shelters, taking a short walk, even just for 5 to 15 minutes, rather than a long outing. So spending time near the water, like coast, rivers, pools, which has that natural cooling and calming effect. Even just engaging in stationary activities like read your book outdoor, do your journaling outdoor, do your mindful breathing outdoor. So this approach it also allows to benefit from not only just fresh air or natural light without placing any kind of strain on our body or our nervous system.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brother John, as you're already probably aware, as well as the rest of our audience here in Australia, we have a very common theme or a motto. Essentially, it's slip, slop, slap. So, basically what it means is slip on a shirt, especially during the summertime, slop on sunscreen, and slap on a hat, just to keep safe from those those harmful UV rays that may potentially hinder any of the good times you have planned for outdoors. Isn't that right, Brother John?
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? There's also been, I don't know, I'm not an expert here, but apparently there's been a body of evidence that, when you walk out, especially with big bodies of water, that it does a lot of good for your health in general. I mean, I think, Brother Hans, are you near a big body of water there? What's that behind you? I believe, where are you at? What's that place called? What is that place?
Oh yes, Brother John. So I'm right behind the coast. I'm right behind the coast at the moment, and I'm in a suburb called Hillary's. It's located up the northwest part of metropolitan Perth, and it's about 30 minutes away from where I live. And yes,
That'll be a great place to have a coastal with other lands.
At the moment, yes, Brother John. Yes, there's also a water park that's been put up for kids. And if I walk a little bit past outside, there would be a lot of boats. So a lot of people also love going on yachts and even rowing their boats, especially if they're closer to the river. But here we're here closer to the coast, to the sea coast. So right now there's a lot of people who love going fishing here and even riding boats.
Let's do some quick experiment, because we're talking about people being outdoors, and Brother Fabi advised that we should spend a bit of time in the sun. Can you look around you? How many people are looking sad, and how many are looking pretty happy over there? I mean, just have a gauge. Like, what do you think the mood is? Just being outdoors alone. Have a look at it. What do you see?
Actually, do you want me to put it on a scale of 0 to 100%? How would you like me to gauge it that way?
Yeah, say zero. A 0 is like everyone's sad. They just want to cry, and 100% is like everyone's crazy happy. Well, what would you put them? Like in general, being in the outdoor. I mean, I've been in the indoor where people could sit there, on a game and still look, miserable. But that's an indoor. But on the outdoor, just curious, what do you observe from where you are?
True. You know what? Now that I look at it, especially the kids outside here, if I look more from where I am, I would give it probably an 8. But if I
Very
see
good.
outside it, I would probably put it more in the 90 to 95%. Because especially since there's a lot of kids playing outdoors, I'd
Yeah,
say generally a lot of people are happy right now.
good. There you go, Sister Fabi.
Yeah.
So we've done a bit of an experiment there from what we were talking about. Being outside makes a person much happier. Okay, so I'm assuming that's what's that? It's they've got a higher parasympathetic what's that? So you call it parasympathetic. See, I've been listening, not very good with the words. So it's something that the calming hormone is that parasympathetic. You said so. Obviously, it's happening. It's true. Brother Hans is observing it right behind him, right where he's located on the outdoors. There you go, Sister Fabi. You can put that in your research book from now on. Like I said, you know what? We did an experiment in Sterling, and this is what we found.
I think Brother John, the one that you're referring of hormones is what we call the serotonin. So the
Oh, yes, that's
sunlight,
the one.
yeah, the sunlight definitely plays a key role in the brain's production of serotonin. So the serotonin, it's what we called our neurotransmitter associated with improved mood. It's associated with calmness. It's associated with emotional stability. So adequate sunlight exposure is also linked to better vitamin D levels, which have been associated with lower rates of depression. So fresh air, outdoor environments, it does also help reduce our cortisol, which is what we call our stress hormones, and increases our oxygen intake, which can improve our concentration, it reduces that mental fatigue and support our emotional regulation. So together with sunlight, fresh air, it can lead to improve our mood, our motivation. It also reduces our stress and our anxiety. It also increases the daytime energy and our alertness. And also it's definitely improve our sleep quality at night. So even a brief exposure such as 10 minutes outside can definitely produce measurable benefits in our mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. So for our audience, Brother John, Sister Fabi, Brother Hans, sorry, Sister Fabi mentioned some very important benefits to being outside and what sunlight can kind of provide to the body. She mentioned, especially serotonin. There's also vitamin D and cortisol, which come from that sunlight. Sunlight is a powerful natural regulator of human health. Sister Fabi had mentioned, which kind of acts as a catalyst for producing essential vitamins and neurotransmitters. Exposure to that sunlight, as Sister Fabi had mentioned, specifically, there's UVB rays, which is within that morning light, triggers the production of those vitamin D vitamins, which boosts the serotonin, the feel-good hormone, essentially what Sister Fabi had been explaining to us, which also regulates cortisol, the stress energy hormone, to align with the body's natural circadian rhythm. It's very important. So to be able to absorb those vitamins, which will greatly contribute to the regulation of the human body and human health in general. So a lot to discuss, a lot to unfold and extract from Sister Fabi as we continue with today's discussion. We hope you guys are enjoying it thus far. Continue to send through all of your comments. We'll be with you there shortly in the live chat section. Let us know again what your favorite summertime activity is and how you guys are regulating your mental health during these hot periods here in Australia. So returning back to you, Sister Fabi, for those who might be struggling with minor forms and symptoms of maybe anxiety, some brethren and some fellow men who are listening might be essentially a bit, introverted, I think is the word that I'm looking for, and have maybe a little bit of a low motivation. What's some gentle outdoor habits that you would recommend starting with to kind of motivate a fellow men and brethren who are tuning in today, taking a bit of inspiration and getting encouraged a bit to kind of step outside, but don't really know where to start?
So for our listeners that are really struggling with motivation or having that depression or anxiety, even just small or achievable outdoors habits are most effective. So for example, even just standing or sitting outside just for 2 to 5 minutes each morning, or pairing outdoor time with your current existing habit, like having tea outside on your balcony, for example, or walking slowly while focusing on sensory experience, like noticing the sounds around you, noticing the colors that you see on your environment. Even just doing a bit of gardening or watering your plants or tending to a small outdoor space. Practicing grounding exercises such as noticing 5 things you can see outdoors. So the key to reduce the pressure and focus on is consistency over duration. So gentle exposure, it helps build that positive association with outdoor environment and support our nervous system regulations as well.
Yeah,
You
right.
know,
So,
I've noticed before when I used to work outdoors, I'd spend like maybe 12 hours, 10, 12 hours outdoors, full sun, everything. And I noticed that there'll be like hundreds of blokes I'll be working with, and hardly anybody gets sick. Hardly anybody, feels sad or depressed. But that's just you spend a lot of time in the sunlight, and plus the fact that they're holding trees because I did arbory work, so cutting down trees and climbing trees. You're always touching something that's on the outside. So obviously that's quite healthy for you. Mentioning about grounding, but how about those who work night shift like what I do now? I work pretty much most of the night, hardly any daytime. What would you say would be the bare minimum of amount of outdoor activity or sunlight that you need, and what would you say is the optimum number of say times that you need to be outside in the fresh air and sunlight? I mean, what would be those two markers that you would suggest from your own observation over the years in your professional field?
So 5 to 10 minutes of daily exposure, it's enough. If your goal is just to regulate your nervous system, if you want to feel calm down, if you come from night shift that are quite stressful, for example, Brother John, 2 to 5 minutes in the sun is enough to calm your nervous system. But if you want an optimum to really improve your mood and to improve your energy, 15 to 30 minutes is a good time that you can actually see the benefits because it does regulate your circadian rhythm. That 15 to 30 minutes, it also boosts the serotonin, which is your mood, to improve your mood. It improves your alertness. It reduces your stress hormone, what we call the cortisol. So I think the best way for us to remember is, or to think is, little and often rather than long and rare. So there's every time, every minute that we spend in the time, and there's that benefit. So 2 to 5 minutes is just enough to regulate our nervous system, to calm ourselves down. 5 to 10 minutes, it's help our moods.
Yeah. The fact that you're saying that, Sister Fabi, I'm already in a good mood because, when I come home from for work in the morning, I would stop by a cafe, have a coffee, and I mentioned to you that my favorite activity outdoors is probably just to drink my coffee outside in the sun. So I'll wait there in the cafe. I'll sit outside for about 20 minutes until I finish it, and I drive the rest of the way home. So I always sort of stop on the way. So hearing that, oh, thank goodness, I'm getting 20, 30 minutes a day. That's pretty good. I was thinking it wasn't enough, to be honest with you. How about for yourself, Sister Patty? I mean, you maintain a pretty good health. I mean, apart from mental health, I mean, you're very healthy. What is your favorite, would you say, is your favorite activity for yourself? And obviously, what you're doing is obviously working, so other people can replicate what you do. What's your favorite outdoor activity that you can do on a sort of daily basis to keep yourself healthy, like you do?
My favorite is walking. So
Nice.
I'm about 10 minutes away, my place, from the train station. So instead of me driving, for example, to work, I try to walk from home to the train station if I can. That's 10 minutes. And during my break time as well, during lunchtime, I make sure that at least I spend 15 minutes going for a walk, only because also for me to co-regulate my own emotions after, I guess, being in front of the client or front of the family that are in crisis, having a mental health crisis. So maybe in a day, I make sure that I have a good 30 minutes walk, even if that's break. That's also exposure for me to a sun, exposure for fresh air. And I'm very mindful of pretty much what I intake, not just the food intake, what I expose to in my environment, the people that I talk to. I'm very selective who can influence my thoughts, very selective of the content that I'm exposing myself in social media. just being mindful. Because for me, even especially as a member of the church, I look at my body as a temple of our soul. So that's why, for me to fulfill my duty, not just at the church duty, but also to fulfill my professional duties, I need to live an example to my clients and to my patients and to their families. So I think having that mindset of looking after ourselves, it's make us think before we do things and appreciate pretty much every little things that we do for ourselves and for our mental health.
That's a pretty good tips. Anything, Brother Morgan?
Yeah, absolutely, Brother John. And Sister Fabi, before we continue, we have a lot of support coming through from our live chat who are taking great inspiration to all that you're teaching us today. We'd like to give a shout out to Roma Scott, who says, for us that live in a regional area, which is inland, bushwalking, especially along the river, is very relaxing. Being amongst nature, away from gadgets, is good for the whole family. Absolutely right, Brother Roma. And if you're out there, Brother Roma, still listening, don't forget to take a photo with you and your family enjoying your outdoor activities and send them through to our producers or to your local leadership there in the Church of Christ, and they'll feature you and your family in our upcoming episodes. And again, thank you so much for your support. We always see you there, very active in the live chat. Again, thank you so much, Brother Roma, and we hope you are having a great time outdoors with your family. We also have Sister Cheryl Cena from the local congregation of Dean Park, who says, I love coastal beach hikes and early morning runs. So again, just like Sister Fabi, she is able to all the more enjoy her outdoor areas there, obviously along the coast, enjoying the benefits of those early morning rays and the fresh air from the starts of the morning, trying to avoid those peak hours of the heat, especially here in Australia for that summer. We also love to give a shout out to our ministers, Brother John Byrne Cassie, who is the resident minister of Hobart. Greetings to you, brother. We hope you are doing well out there in Hobart. Although it is south of Australia, I'm sure it's quite hot down there at the moment too, despite it being so far south. We also have a shout out to Ka Marvin Ferreira from Melton, Ka Elma Yambao, Ka Frederick Estrella, who says, hi, Brother Morgan. Hi, Brother Frederick. It's good to see you. Brother Paul Gooday, who says, happy viewing to all brethren from North Brisbane. We have Ka Grace Costello Kalans Bing, who says, happy viewing and happy Sunday to all brethren. Greetings from the Cabanero family from Shepparton. Happy greetings to you too, brother, in the family of Cabanero family. But Brother Marco Montero, who says, happy viewing from the local congregation of Shepparton. Ka Cecilia Guanzing, who says, happy and blessed Sunday but to everyone. Brethren, continue to send through all of your greetings. We love to hear from you. There are so many of you. We'll be sure to shout you out as soon as we can. There's so many of you. We love to hear from you. If you haven't already, don't forget to click the like, share, subscribe buttons, a little notification bell to stay up to date with all of INC Radio Made in Australia's updates. If you have any questions for Sister Fabi, who is our professional mental health educator joining us today, be sure to put those in the live chat as well, and she'll be sure to answer your questions, anything mental health related, especially during our outdoor activities during the summer. And again, if you have any favorite activities during the summer, be sure to let us know. We love to hear from you. So, Sister Fabi, returning back to you as we jump back into today's discussion, which is mental health and the benefits of being outdoors. What are some practical tips you could give to somebody looking to enjoy mental health benefits of summer outdoors while still staying sun safe in Australia? I mean, we had already gone over this question a little bit earlier, but to further elaborate, how do we all the more remain sun safe, especially during these peak times of the heat here in Australia?
I think that you mentioned, I think everyone heard of the 5S, but in honor of, the seagull, the slip, slap, stick, and slide. And another thing that probably I will add on that one is to always stay hydrated, take a breaks in shade or in the air-conditioned areas. Of course, always listen to your body and rest if you feel overheated or fatigued. Avoid outdoor activities during peak UV times, like typically that's around 11 o'clock in the morning to 3 p.m. So mental health benefits are again, gained through regular, moderate exposure, not prolonged sun exposure. So just a short, safe, intentional outdoor moments are often the most effective one.
Right. And so for all of our brethren out there, again, if you're going to go outside to lap up essentially all of these benefits that Sister Fabi has been teaching us today, don't forget to slip, slop, slap. Again, slip on a shirt, slap on sunscreen, and slap on a hat, especially if you're here in Australia because the temperature is scorching. And we want you to be safe whilst enjoying yourself and enjoying those benefits of the sun.
And don't forget, she also mentioned that you got to stay hydrated. People forget about that, how important that is. Okay, it's kind of hard to function when you're all dehydrated everywhere. But you know what? We were mentioning earlier that if with the Iglesia Ni Cristo, we have so many activities out there. And by the way, for those of you who are not yet members of the Church of Christ, you are welcome. You are very welcome to come and attend any of our activities. Come and join us. We do a lot of coastal walks. We do a lot of hiking. We do many outdoor activities, outdoor sports. So feel free to come and join us, and you can reach us. You can go through incmedia.org. You'll find a lot of contents. You'll find it very entertaining. You also find it very informative, and you can also find the nearest places of worship or people that could to get you connected with us. So we would love you to come and join us, because all of these shows that we have is really to benefit not just the members of the Church of Christ, but our fellow man in general. I mean, Brother Morgan, they mentioned that it's the fellow man that we why it's good for them to be outdoors, why we have this advice from experts such as Sister Fabi. So please feel free to come and reach out to us, and we will be more than happy to accommodate whatever that you need, so that you can come and join us and feel the love of the brotherhood that we have inside the Church of Christ. So Sister Fabi, I believe that there's so many activities that you're involved in. I mean, you even went all the way overseas into one of the island nations of Vanuatu, for example, to take part. You've done some retreats that you do, the 3-day retreat for resilience. Those are the things that everybody can benefit from. So please feel free to reach out to us. And if there's any particular person that you'd like to even get in contact with or to follow, you can do that through incmedia.org, and they will find a way for you to get in touch with us, especially with some of our experts such as Sister Fabi. So go ahead, Brother Morgan.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Brother John. We all the more encourage that unity and the love of the brotherhood inside the Church of Christ. And if you're taking any inspiration and motivation from today's episode, by all means, feel free to approach those who have sent you or invited you to today's link. And you're all the more welcome to all of our activities inside the Church of Christ. We have one almost each and every weekend. And so just be on the listen, or approach those who invited you today. And by all means, they'll guide you in the right direction. Again, as Brother John had mentioned, those online resources are incmedia.org. That's INC. So I for Indigo, N for Nelly, C for Charlie, media.org. Again, a whole bunch of online God's Message magazines and articles for you to take all the more inspiration to the faith that we uphold here inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo. So, Sister Fabi, as we wrap up today's discussion, we've gained so much valuable knowledge and information from you. Before we wrap up, is there anybody you'd like to give a special shout out to?
I just want to shout out to our residence minister here in North Sydney, Brother Zelmar Bongaras and his family, and to our district minister, Brother Seth Gutierrez, and to all our viewers and listeners here in INC Radio, here in Australia, and also some of the family and friends in the Philippines. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Amazing, Sister Fabi. It's been an absolute honor and a privilege to have you with us today. And we all the more look forward to hopefully having you back on INC Radio once again to share with us all the information and all the experience that you have, because obviously 1 hour is just not long enough. And that's how it is with most of our guests. There's just so much to extract. So again, we do look forward to having you with us once again. But again, thank you so much for joining us today. And for our brethren, as you navigate this season remember that joy doesn't depend on perfect circumstances. True peace comes from anchoring your mental well-being in your spiritual health. If you are struggling with any forms of anxiety or exhaustion, don't try to carry it alone. Reach out to a friend or seek professional counseling, knowing that seeking help is knowing that seeking help is a sign of strength. Don't ever feel like you're alone. And again, inside the Church of Christ, we always uphold a strong and core belief in the power of our Almighty God, and prayer is our priority. So again, thank you so much, Sister Fabi. And before we continue, we will go to a short break, so stay tuned because you are watching Made in Australia, brought to you by INCRadio Australia Satellite Studio, one of the official satellite studios of INCRadio. G'day, and welcome to Gift of the Gab, where we expand our vocabulary and explore new words. Today's word is eudaimonia. Eudaimonia refers to a state of human flourishing or living well, often translated as happiness, but implying a deeper sense of well-being achieved through a life of virtue and purpose. It's about realizing one's full potential. As members of the Church of Christ, our pursuit of knowledge and the understanding of God's words reflect our eudaimonia towards being able to please God. Thanks for listening to Gift of the Gab. We look forward to seeing you next time, shining in eudaimonia. Take care.
Made in Australia.
Welcome back to Made in Australia, brought to you by INCRadio Australia Satellite Studio. Eudaimonia, Brother Morgan. I love that word. Effectively, you know what I got from that word? I've never heard of that word in my life. So that's why you got to tune in every single week, because you're going to learn something new from Brother Morgan. Eudaimonia. So effectively, you have a life. You said you had a life of purpose, integrity. So pretty much, you're living your life because you're living your best because of peace in your life, because of the way that you do the right thing. Is that right, Brother Morgan? In sort of like layman's term, do the right thing. Do what God tells you to do. Live righteously, and you will feel that sense of peace and happiness. Is that pretty much what eudaimonia? Would you say? Would that be a pretty close description to it, Brother Morgan?
Yeah, absolutely, Brother John. You're spot on. So essentially, eudaimonia is human flourishing or a life lived well. It's a very deep English word. So eudaimonia is a deeper, long-term state of being achieved by living virtuously, acting with reason, and fulfilling one's full potential. But yeah, so essentially just human flourishing, brother, and a life lived well, and contributing all of that eudaimonia to our Lord God, as much as we reciprocate the love from our Lord God, contributing to the many activities that we uphold inside the Church of Christ. So
I love that, Brother Morgan. I really love it, because that's really living a life of purpose. And someone who really sets an example of living a life of eudaimonia is obviously Sister Fabi, because she's got a purpose, the way she helps people out there, and the way that Sister Fabi, you probably don't even know how many people you've assisted and you've helped overcome problems over your lifetime, even through the show that we have here. And that's why we always encourage listeners out there. And thank you for always joining us, by the way, to our regular listeners, is that coming in here, you're always going to learn something new that hopefully could help yourself or there's someone that you love. So there you go, Brother Hans, eudaimonia. Are you living a life of eudaimonia, Brother Hans?
And I would say, Brother John, I am working my best towards it, and I've started to appreciate more of the life that God has given me, particularly. And at this stage, yes, I am living a life full of eudaimonia at the best possible way. And that is one of the New Year's resolutions I have formed for myself coming into my 25th year. So yes, it's to live a more purposeful and a happier life, grounded always in the teachings of God as my first places.
Yeah, amazing, Brother Hans. It's perfect definition and utilization of eudaimonia, especially when we contribute to our Lord God, and staying grounded in the teachings upheld inside the Church of Christ, or Iglesia Ni Cristo. For our audience in our live chat, let us know, how would you use the word eudaimonia And if there's anything, any deep English words or even deep Filipino words or Tagalog that maybe we haven't heard yet, we'd love to hear from you. And we'd love to possibly use those words in our upcoming episodes. But for now, let's jump into one of our viewers' all-time favorite segments, Game Time.
It's game time. Let's play.
All right, so if you are new to our Game Time segment, essentially we're going to give our audience and our host and our guest joining us today a question. And those who get it correct firstly will be in the running for some INC Radio souvenirs, potential mugs, and tote bags that we have to give out. If you're going to send through your answer, don't forget to put your full name with your local congregation so we know who and where we're sending it to. So as we begin, Queer Tech, let's load up our first question. All right, so while we wait for our audience to type in their answers in the live chat, we'll hand the question over to Brother Hans, Sister Fabi, and Brother John. Which months make up summer in Australia? Sister Fabi, we'll start with you.
December, January, and February.
It sounds about right. I mean, it's extremely hot right now, and I hope it doesn't get any hotter here in Australia. So I really hope it's summer now and not winter. It wouldn't make much sense. But so we hope you're right. Brother John, which months could it possibly be?
Oh, definitely December, January, February. I remember when I came to Australia, I was like a little kid. December 14, 1981. It was December, and I never felt anything so hot in my life. I came and went to school, and I thought it was 42 degrees. Yeah, I even remember the degrees. 42 degrees. Now, 42 degrees in Australia is different to 42 degrees, say, in the Philippines. There's a massive difference in feeling. And I remember I was like burning. My skin was burning, and I was thinking, wow, this is amazing. So, and you know, I remember because it was in December, and I started school in January. And I was thinking, okay, so this is what summer is like. Because I remember one of my classmates was trying to talk to me in sort of like a broken English, trying to communicate with me. But all I remember said, summer, December, January, February, summer. I remember that. I never forgot it. Now I'm at the ripe old age of 25. And and I still remember that kid telling me that. Like, that's why, because it's so hot. I said, hot. I remember telling him that. And I couldn't speak English. It was very funny, but yeah, definitely in my view. I'm not sure I could be wrong, but I'm never wrong with this one. What do you think, Brother Hans?
I reckon so, Brother John. So I also remember something similar to the first time I came here to Australia. And the very first memory I had was the moment I landed, I checked my clock, the very first thing. It was when I landed at Melbourne. It was around, I think, 7 p.m. already. And I saw the window. I was like, this does not look like 7 p.m. at all. It looks like 11 or 12 p.m. At 12 p.m. in the noon. So I was wondering, is this actually afternoon or is it actually night time? So that's why I do remember, yes, it is December to February, because summers have extremely long days. And that's one thing that I remember Australia for as my first impression.
Yeah, no, extremely hot during those months of the year. To our host, to Sister Fabi. And we do have an answer. Firstly, up from Sister in our live chat. Firstly, from Sister Florence Simangan, who also answered December to February, and also says, "Happy viewing, Bob Brethren, from the local congregation of Donnybrook." Thank you for your answer, Sister. You are first up to answer. We will see Queer Tech if the answers are correct. Absolutely, Sister Florence. We'll hand your answer, your name and local congregation over to our producers, and you may be potentially in the running for some INC Radio souvenirs. Continue to send through your answers in our live chat, all of our audience, because we are tallying up all of our correct answers. Don't forget to send through your full name and local congregation so we know where and who to send our INC Radio souvenirs through to. Now, moving on to our second question, Queer Tech. All right, so question 2. Which Australian animal often sleeps in eucalyptus trees to stay cool during summer? We have previously discussed this in a couple of our earlier Mates of Mia segments episodes in I think the halfway through last year, or about 3/4 of the way through last year. If you guys have been loyal supporters and tuning in, you may remember this question. You may have the right answer from the knowledge you've gained from our episodes. But before we while we wait for your answers, in the live chat, we'll hand it over to our host and sister Fabi. Brother John, what do you think this animal could be here in Australia?
This is a very interesting one. I remember my mom sending a postcard when we were still in the Philippines before we came here of this animal that I've never seen in my life. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there's still people in the world who doesn't know it exists. But we know that it is a koala. I remember seeing one videos from many years ago. I think it was back in the 90s, but it's sort of reemerged recently. How a UK reporter came to Australia and they dressed her up and they called it, instead of calling it a koala, they called it a drop bear. That it's really vicious. So they put her in all this gear, protective gear with a mask, with a goggle and everything. And they're telling her, "Oh, you got to be careful." And then so they were stricken and telling her that it's called a drop bear and it's very vicious. But it was like the cutest thing. It was right. She's carrying it and everyone's pretending that it's so dangerous. But it was so funny. But yep, definitely a koala, and it's one of the most cutest animal in the world. Not for consumption, brother. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can eat koalas. I think it is against the law. But unfortunately, we are running out of time for our audience. So this will be our last question. Koya Tech, can we load up the correct answer for our last question for today? Absolutely correct, Brother John. The correct answer was koala. And unfortunately, we actually don't have... Oh, we do. Brother Roma Scott in the live chat, who says koala from the local congregation of Shepparton, who has actually also shared with us a deep Tagalog word. This is one I will have no idea. Brother John, Brother Han, Sister Fabi, you guys may know what this one is. But the word is nakakapagpagabag.
Yes, well done, Brother Morgan. Yes, that is actually a very nice tongue twister too. A very cool introduction to the Tagalog language.
What is
And
that?
what does this word,
Can you say it? I don't know how to say it.
Wait, nakakapagpabagabag. Hang on. I think it's something similar to eudaimonia, but I have no clue what the
you know what? Can you imagine?
Let me
Can you imagine all the viewers in the Philippines are laughing at us at the moment? Saying, "Oh, these westernized kids." Sister Fabi, do you know what it is?
Actually,
Nakapag-
oh,
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to say it.
anxiety inducing. Apparently, that's what it means. I'm just looking
What
at
is it?
now.
So it's an
It's
opposite
something
of what the actual it's not really related to. Yeah, it's not a sense of well-being then if it's causing a lot of anxiety.
All right, so this
What
is
is
one I'm going
Very
to
good.
have to research this
Worrying.
one, Brother John, Brother Hans, Sister Fabi. But Brother Roma, thank you so much for your input. Again, to all of our live chat, just as Brother Roma has, we'd love to hear your deep Tagalog words or even deep English words, or wherever you may be in Australia, whether it be Thailand, New York, Africa, even. We'd love to hear some deep words of your first language. It all the more motivates us to get to know you guys. So again, send them through. Every time we have our episodes, we love to hear from you. But unfortunately, we don't have enough time for the rest of today's episode. So we will have to wrap up. As usual, we'd love to give a quick shout out to our districts and our district leaders. So here in Queensland, a big shout out and for all of your support to our district supervising minister, Brother Orlando McKion. Thank you so much for all of your support and to all of our ministers and evangelical workers, especially Brother Sean Patrick Bernal, who is now in the local congregation of Gold Coast. Thank you so much for all of your support, for your help throughout your years being here. We love to hear from you as well. Please continue to send through and support INC Radio Made in Australia. Brother John, do you have any special shout out you'd like to give to our fellow men, to our brethren?
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much, Brother Morgan. We'd like to say a quick shout out to our resident minister of Dean Park. We have two of them. We have Brother Robert Santos and we have Brother Carlos de Jesus. And of course, we'd like to say a quick shout out as well to our to Brother Richard Esperanza, who is our district Christian family organization overseer. So thank you very much, Paul, for all your support. And to all the regular listeners out there, we know you. You're always on every single week, and we do appreciate you. And for those who just started tuning in, we look forward to seeing you. Yeah, we will get to know you. So we love you, Paul. And and that's all for me there. So go ahead, please, Brother Morgan.
And yeah, Brother Hans, anybody you'd love to give a quick shout out to before we wrap up today's episode? Thanks so much for joining us again today, Brother Hans, and thank you for the view that you've given us.
Yes, thank you very much as well, Brother Morgan and Brother John, for having me. And as for me, I would like to give some shout outs first to our District Supervising Minister, Brother Noli Esperanza, as well as our Assistant District Supervising Minister, Brother Felix Santos, and all of our fellow ministers here in Western Australia and the Northern Territory for always supporting us, and also all of the brethren here in Western Australia for always viewing our episodes every week. And also some birthday shout outs as well. So one of our very first guests from last year's Made in Australia, Brother Malcolm, and his sister, Sister Charmaine Larson, are celebrating their birthdays today. So I'd also like to give them a shout out. They're both from the local congregation of Ellenwood. They're from one of our earliest episodes of Made in Australia this year. And also shout out to my cousin in Salt Lake City, Utah, Sister Lana Natividad, who celebrated her birthday on the 4th.
Thank you so much, Brother Hans. And of course, we can never forget to thank our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio Viamanalo, and our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo Viamanalo. That's all from us today. A big thanks again from all of us here at Made in Australia, our INC Radio Made in Australia. We'll leave you with our mates of Mia segue.
From the bushland to the beaches and everywhere in between, let's thank this week's Mates of Mia.
Sunshine Coast, EWS, we love INC Radio.